Hello everyone, this is Piotr and Paulina, and today we are going to present you a paper called Monitoring Corruption, Evidence from a Field Experiment in Indonesia by Benjamin Olken from Harvard University. Are you ready? Let's start. What do we face in this article? We got a randomized field experiment about reducing corruption in over 600 Indonesian projects. After it checked and concluded that traditional top-down monitoring can play an important role in reducing corruption even in highly corrupt environments. So what is corruption? We all know it means something not good, something dishonest or unethical, often to acquire personal benefits. Corruption is a significant problem in much of the developing world. We all know the importance of the problem, but unfortunately it is very difficult to directly measure corruption. There is relatively little evidence of this phenomenon, and how can we face the problem? That is, how best to reduce corruption. One approach to reducing it, dating back to at least Baker and Stinger 1994, suggests that the right combination of monitoring and punishments can control it. Whether one can actually control corruption by increasing top-down monitoring in such an environment is an open and important empirical question. Well, let's think of another approach, alternative one. To reduce the corruption, we can reduce it by increasing grassroots participation by community members in local level monitoring. What about the experiments? The author designed and conducted a randomized controlled field experiment in 608 Indonesian villages. Each village in the study was about to start building a village road as a part of a nationwide village-level infrastructure project. After selected some villages to be told, after funds had been awarded but before construction began, that their project would subsequently be audited by a central government audit agency. What about measuring corruption? This paper examines corruption by comparing two measures of the same quantity, one before and one after corruption has taken place. To do this in the context of the road project, the author assembled a team of engineers who, after the projects were completed, surveyed local suppliers to estimate prices and interviewed villagers to determine the wages paid on the project. Then he constructed an independent estimate of the amount each project actually cost to build, then compared this estimate with what the village reported is spent on the project on a line item by line item basis. KDP is a national Indonesian government developing program funded through a loan from a World Bank. KDP finances projects in approximately 15,000 villages throughout Indonesia each year. A typical village receives funds that are about $8,800 for infrastructure. Corruption at the village level can occur in several ways. First, implementation teams potentially working with the village head may collude with suppliers. Or secondly, members of the implementation team may manipulate wage payments. The experiments discussed in this paper examine different ways of alerting the probability that corruption is detected and punishments are enforced. Three interventions are examined. Audits, increasing the probability of external audits. Invitations, increasing participations in accountability meetings. Invitations plus comments, providing an anonymous comment forum to villages. The experiment began in November 2003 and finished in September 2004. The data used in this paper come from 4 types of surveys, each designed by the author. A key important survey, covering baseline characteristics about the village and the village implementation team. A meeting survey, containing data on the attendances and the first-hand report of discussions at the accountability meetings. A household survey containing data on household participation in and percentages of the project. And the final engineering field survey used to measure corruption in the project. Key dependent variable. The difference between what villages claimed they spent on the project and the independent estimates of what villages actually spent.
Created using part1.